Good morning for the live people, and welcome if you're watching this on the replay. We're going to dive into tarot time in just a minute. So, what we do on Sunday mornings, well, we get together as a community, and we do some energy sensing through tarot. So we do a meditation card, a 3-card spread. I've got other divination tools. I think at the end we're going to do a little bit of toning to sink in with these new energies. We had a very powerful Lionsgate portal uh, during a full moon. And we also have 6 planets now in harmonious alignment with the big outer planet alignment. But Mercury and Mars has joined that. So I'll explain a little bit more about that. Maybe get into a little bit of current events and how these energies are affecting activities here on Earth. With the world politics, all that kind of good stuff. But before I dive in, let me put my glasses on and say a few quick hellos. And we skipped last week because I had the retreat, which was great. It was just a few people came, but it's a very powerful. We did a lot of energy work, a lot of grid work, and really good things to help escape the matrix. That was the theme. So anyway, Truth Wave, welcome. And you guys, I know some of you have channels like Victor from Truth Waves does beautiful meditations on his channel all the time, and Mr. Floyd Universe, that's Josh's, does a really nice community, good dawning and events on his channel. So if you guys have YouTube channels, we're a community here. You're welcome to let everybody know. It's not like you're violating anything. So who else is here? Leanne Merrill, welcome. Welcome, Fractal Awareness. Kevin, welcome. Hi, Roseanne. Hi, Sean. Beverly. Hi, Coyote Moon. Crow, welcome. Welcome, GR. Yvonne, hi. Hi, Kathleen. Hi, Millie. Welcome. Hello, Colleen. Hello, India. All right. So few people are on. Not everybody's here yet. So anyhow, Mars just went into Libra, so it's actually conjunct my sun now, which is kind of nice. And my natal sun is actually transiting Pluto right now, so we've got a lot of energy there. It's affecting me. I actually have a UTI now, or maybe a bladder infection or both. So I'm a little off color today, but I started to do oregano oil. I do that as an antibiotic, strong dosages that I wouldn't recommend for everybody. But I started doing that yesterday, and the pain's virtually gone today in just a day. So I think it's helping. But in any event, a lot's changing. We had the Lionsgate portal again. There's a huge opening of cosmic energy. The sun is getting very active as far as like solar flaring. I don't think we've had anything above an M class, but we've had a lot of flares. I think we're in a G1 magnet solar storm right now. I have to check Stefan Bird's channel, see where we're at there. But I think we're in a G1 now or close to it, due to a high energy plasma stream from a coronal hole, as well as some grazing blows from a coronal mass ejection. So everything's active on the Earth. And we see a lot starting to progress now. Things seem like they were a little bit stagnant. Well, not stagnant, but a little bit edgy. But now things are moving more energetically, and I think we're going to see some progress with things that are going on, internationally. Like apparently there's going to be a meeting with Putin and Trump and maybe Zafalewski. Am I even pronouncing his name right? So forgive me if I'm a little bit off this morning. Although, they're trying to iron out a peace agreement, but I just don't think if part of the peace agreement is the Ukraine giving up some of their land to Russia, that's not going to happen. So I don't know how that's going to go. But in any event, there's that, and a lot of news coming out about things like vaccinations and pandemics and human trafficking, child trafficking. We talked about a lot of witch hunts, for July. And, interestingly, in the August forecast, I mentioned the Clintons, and they they've made their way onto the news lately. I just catch some headlines, so I don't really even know what's going on in the news. But I'm gonna check out your comments for a minute, then I'm gonna do a meditation card and dive into the tarot. Okay, thank you for the update on the 19th. Yeah. Yeah, that may be unfortunately one of my yearly predictions that isn't verifying, that being the end of the Russia-Ukraine war. I mean, it was a prediction, usually they come true, not always. That's the nature of intuitive sensing. Timelines are fluid. I'm human. And of course, being that I want peace, that can, interfere with the flow of intuition, right? To get, like when I do my readings, like if I know somebody, I really have to get into a virtual mindset, like I don't even care about the person, because if my ego, which is part of that, is that I care about people. If my ego gets in the way, then the intuitive information doesn't flow as easily, right? So we really have to get in, when I do my predictive stuff around like things like Donald Trump and the world and stuff like that, it's not easy to just get out of like getting into the mindset like I don't care, because I do care. I guess that makes sense. But anyway, I agree, Roseanne, with what you're saying. I think it's gonna take more than that. So what else were you saying? Hey, Coyote Moon. So it's on the 19th. So yeah, I don't know what we're doing around the 19th, but we'll send a lot of prayers of peace. Whatever live stream I'm doing around that time. Um, then then the other thing is in what's happening in the Gaza Strip with I'm like well, I'm thinking of both Martin Luther King and I don't know if you guys know who Michael Franti is, of the band Spearhead, but to me he's almost like a modern day Martin Luther King when you hear him talk. But the whole plan of Israel to basically attack Gaza, to rid it of the Hamas, to create peace, like Dr. King said, you can't create peace from war. You can't create love from hate, right? And one of Michael Franti's, in one of his songs, says, "Well, you can bomb the world to pieces, but you can't bomb the world to peace." So, you know, it's probably a lot of this is orchestrated anyway, but I'm not going to go too deep into like the mechanics behind war and who benefits financially, and how changes in the world structure benefit the cabal or the elite at the expense of the great many. We just have to be in our heart, be aware of the ways of the world. Yeah, it's the term Luciferian comes to mind, but to be aware of the mechanics of the world and the ways of the world, but not freak out about it, not go into fear, but rather go into love and open our hearts and send a lot of love. So before we finish, we'll do a little bit of energy toning and send a lot of love and light to reset our own energy fields, to help the earth reset our energy fields, and to vibrate a lot of peace into the world. And I don't use the singing bowls like a lot of people. I do voice channeling and toning, so it all happens through voice and through the group that works with me, the master teachers. A lot of you know that because you work with us with that. Energize my fields, and as I'm leading the processes with you, that they're able to access your fields and help you with your higher self to raise your frequencies and velocity, the frequency and velocity of your energetic flows, basically. So anyway, what else are we saying? Right back, everyone. Hello. And hi, Kevin. Kevin saying, one thing that is being highlighted with Gaza is now that the world sees what they're really doing, both in the region and in the U.S. So many. This is true, and an interesting thing is, and I this has come through in channelings for years. Starting around 2022, the master teachers are saying the light has won. Although I don't necessarily, I'm not as warm on that metaphor of light versus darkness, because there's nothing wrong with dark either. But anyway, you get the idea. But they caution that it's still going to take many years for the earth to reset in these higher frequencies. And as things start to change, yeah, the lower vibrations, we'll call it, they're not going to give up. So they're going to fight even harder. So we start to stretch that rubber band between the process of awakening and people raising their vibration versus those that are staying in a lower vibration and want to keep it that way. And things have to happen. Things have to happen on the earth in order for that transition to happen and us to move into those higher, more peaceful times, basically. So yeah, so what's going on in Gaza? Well, what I was going to say is part of that and other channelings, they were saying that, in positions of authority in government, there are ascended masters that are in human form or perhaps extraterrestrial beings that are taking on human form and that are actually in like the governments and the corporations. There's not a lot of them, but they're helping to create a new society, helping to end the old paradigms of the old earth that's predicated on greed, power over others, at the expense of most of us, almost all of us, at the benefit of a minute few. So there's operatives, that's the word I'm looking for, of higher consciousness that are working with us in high levels of government. So hang in there, keep raising the vibration. That's the message I wanted to say with that. So what else are you guys saying? And what's Mr. Floyd saying about darkness? Darkness, you can't erase your shadow side. You can only integrate it, right, and acknowledge it. It's not like I can make it like not be nighttime, right? It's like, so we're in the 3D. We're in the matrix. The matrix is a teacher. It's not the enemy. I don't prescribe to that thinking of us being on a prison planet. I feel like we're in a classroom, basically. Though it seems that way, I know. But the imprisonment is our own karma because the universe is fractal and it's a mirror too. That's why like frequencies attract like frequencies, because our emotions are magnetic in nature, and in the magnetism, like repels like. Actually, it's the opposites that attract in the magnet, right? Like you put two positive magnetic charge together, they repel. So the universe has to be a mirror in order for like to attract like when it comes to vibration and energy, because it's emotional. It's very interesting, and I'm getting all these downloads about how the matrix operates. The retreat that we did was escape the matrix. That was the theme of it. And I've been getting downloads before, during, and since about that. So the idea is the higher we vibrate, everything in our universe, in our personal universe, is a reflection of our energy. And that includes our thoughts, emotions, our karma, other lifetimes, realities in other dimensions, and how that interacts with the physical. And it's an exact replica. That's the teacher. So as we change our vibrations, part of that's our belief, because we're programmed into certain belief systems that aren't our own. We're programmed into it, and the programming hijacks our emotions. And what that means is that when there's any kind of stimulus in our environment or other people, because it's programming and it's emotional, we respond emotionally in a certain way. And that's everything in human behavior. What we feel dictates how we behave. And what happens is that the same things come up, maybe different face. We have the same feelings, we have the same reactions, the same responses, and it perpetuates the same reality. And our survival instincts resist change. So we really have to go into the heart, we have to go into spirit, and we have to vibrate from that level to create changes in the physical. And that's how we change our reality, change our universe, and change our lives. So there's the dissertation for the morning. So moving right along. And hello, healing more than a feeling. And Stefan Burns is awesome. Exactly. I dig him a lot. More than a feel. That's Boston, or is that what's his name from Humble Pie, Peter Frampton. Anyway, and what's our fractal awareness friend saying? Because we're talking about fractal universe. recursive programming trap. Programming, anti-programming isn't questioned as and has distorted more. That's true. Yeah. And good morning, Felicia. Just woke up from a dream where I was with my passed on brother Sean. He showed me a book written by a psychiatrist. His ex-wife was very good. So that's beautiful when they come through and talk to us like that. Hello, Yvonne. One woman had a footage of an ET walking in her yard. Wow, that's cool. And Stefan Bird said if it were made of antimatter, it would cause the flashing lights events to happen. Very interesting. Yeah, and the oh god, what's it called? The new Hubble, the James Webb Telescope and the Hubble. They basically, I watch other channels, but Stefan Bird is my favorite on these topics. But I go to other places also. And when I'm not doing YouTube videos or readings, I'm doing research basically. Although I'm going to spend some time in the sun today. But anyway, it just kind of blew the Big Bang Theory out of the water. What they're discovering now, and the matter antimatter synergy seem to make more sense in terms of the creation of a physical universe. And it makes sense because what's the yin yang symbol? It's matter, antimatter. It's positive, negative, and there's always a little bit of the yin and the yang, and the yang and the yin. So it's very, very interesting stuff to be sure. When the fields of band Boston, yeah, that's yeah. There's a similar song with similar to that, and by Peter Frampton. But yeah, Boston, exactly. Oh, hello, Doreen. So you missed the dissertation, but anyway. So Rufus the Soul last night. Wow, very good. I haven't been to a concert in eons and eons. Yeah, that is very cool. So let's dive into some tarot now. Let's do our meditation card. And I kind of skipped over the point talking about the 6 planet harmonic alignment right now. As I've been talking about a lot on the channel, Saturn and Neptune are in almost an exact conjunction now at I think 1 degree of Aries now. We have Uranus that just went into Gemini recently, so it's sextiling that conjunction at about 1, maybe it's up to about 2 degrees of Gemini now. And then Pluto's hanging around at about 2 to 3 degrees Aquarius. So that's the other side. So it's a double sextile with with an alignment between Neptune and Saturn. And then that makes Uranus and Pluto in a trine configuration. So this is all harmonic. Now, recently, Mars just went into Libra. So Libra trines Pluto. It opposes, so it's an opposition with Saturn and Neptune. And some people might be thinking, well, that's not harmonic. That's, oppositions are challenging. But not in this case, because on the other side, it's also trining Uranus. So it's almost like a peace sign, an upside down peace sign in a way, if you can visualize that in your mind. But also Mercury is stationed now. It's going retrograde tomorrow or direct tomorrow, and that's at 4 degrees of Leo. So the sign Leo is also that sextiles Uranus. It's trining the conjunction, and then it's in opposition with Pluto. And so that's 6 planets in that harmonic alignment, and the outer planets speak of generational changes. And this alignment with the for all in the harmonic, in a positive major aspecting, that's probably happened roughly every 1,000 or several thousands of years. Although recently, and I forgot what year, I think it's around the 60s, it was the 3 outer planets were in a very harmonic alignment. But anyway, so it's a big energetic change. It's a big shift. This Lionsgate portal was extremely powerful with the full moon reflecting the lion gate sun. It's still in effect now, and with these outer planet alignments, and it's really bringing this higher consciousness, this higher frequency of consciousness, um, into the collective fields. But again, the old is resisting. They don't want to give up the power. Those that are in control, but it's really shifting and changing, and it's creating a lot of changes in our lives. And a lot of people are getting illnesses. I had a kidney stone, and then a few weeks later, a UTI or maybe a bladder infection. So I've been going through that and other things with skin eruptions, a lot of detoxing. So I'm doing the oregano oil, and I rarely go on an antibiotic because oregano oil is a natural, at least for some things. Again, we can't claim that essential oils will heal you. Only pharmaceutical medicine will do that. What's that? Algorithm alert, but in any event, it can definitely support your healing and support your body's ability to fight off infection. And like I said in the beginning, for those that missed it, I woke up pain-free this morning. I was like, wow, that's great, because it's been building the last 3 or 4 days, and yesterday started my oregano oil regimen. I do that for 7 days. I do higher than the recommended doses. I don't want to recommend you guys do anything that may that may be harmful. I mean, I don't think it will be, but you know what I'm saying. But I do a pretty high dose of it, and it works. Many times I've avoided antibiotics by going on oregano. There's other natural products that can support your body's ability to fight off infections, but that really works well for me personally. So what else do you guys think? I love moringa, and thanks to that gives me the ability to shout out one of my favorite healers, Patrick Spirit healer, Patrick Matthew, in the Astoria, Queens, for those of you that are in New York City. And I'm going to get into this in a minute, but he brought up moringa powder, and I have to do the story because it was a couple of months ago. I was in the astral. I was dreaming, and then Patrick did a healing on me in the astral. And when he does his work, he does very, very deep work. And he finds the spots. It's like hurts like hell to just cut to the chase. So in the dream, I felt the pain. He did the healing on me. Then there were several other people, waiting for their healing. So he does healings when he's sleeping, in other words. So that happened. And the very next day, he hadn't texted me probably for a half a year. And he just, the very next day, he texted me the moringa powder and the little video about that. Apparently, and I'll say that from my experience, that there's some truth to it. But amongst its benefits is that it can provide natural male enhancement. It can enhance muscle. I don't know. Are my muscles bigger now? I don't know. But anyway, I do exercise also. But I'll put it this way. I noticed my muscles being a little bit more full, but I felt better. I felt like my divine masculine was more activated. I started to feel more confident. So yeah, I'm sold on moringa powder. It grows in India, I think Sri Lanka, places in Africa, and it's very, very. It's an Ayurvedic medicine. Am I getting that right? For the person that originally recommended moringa, I think I'm getting it right. There's other benefits to it, and it can benefit women also. But I found it's really good for men. So it's moringa powder. The leaf is the whole plant or leaf is good. So anyway, and there's other really good things, but thanks for sharing the moringa with us. It's good stuff. yeah, it's helpful for that. Apparently, because I got a whole CAT scan that I had degenerative arthritis, in my lower spine. But the funny thing about that is that I've been needed a chiropractor for over 2 years, and taking, going back the last 20 years, my back's doing better than it has for over 20 years, basically. So, what's up here, right? And doing good things for your body. I think going off of sugar was a huge thing for me. Just a few berries a day: blackberries, blueberries, strawberries. In this anti-inflammatory diet, I'm allowed to have a small to medium yams, maybe a couple times a week, because apparently the fiber counteracts the sugar in yams. But that means no fruit juice, no honey, no maple syrup, no rice syrup. And 3 days after I started doing that, because I developed a COVID rash the last time I had COVID. So that's what motivated me to research and do this diet. 3 days, I had significantly less brain fog. Just 3 days of off sugar. Sugar is one of the biggest poisons there is. I mean, once I would recommend everybody do the anti-inflammatory, get off sugar. Once you're there, every now and then, if you want to give yourself a treat, it's not going to kill you, but it's an addictive drug, and it's got a similar what's the molecular makeup as cocaine, basically. I think it was in Sugar Blues, but in one of those books I read that. So anyway, back to the tarot. Sugar feeds cancer. Yeah. So and if you're dealing with that energy, definitely heed Lakeside Laura's words there. For arthritis, yeah, I think it's very. And again, apparently, I mean, I know I have it in my toes and fingers. I've had it since my 30s. Nobody would know it, but and you've been on a roll, Kevin. Somatic movement is something that anyone with pain should do. Try Feldenkrais. Seriously changed my life. Wow. Thank you for that also. Something to research. I'm not too familiar with that, and I'm really always looking to grow and learn and to learn these things. So thanks for that recommendation. So basically, it's almost halfway through, and we've been. That's how this is. For those of you that are new, this is kind of like our community hour, also. So we get into these conversations as part of tarot time. But I'm going to dive into actually the cards now. Finally, Feldenkrais. Okay, thank you. I've heard of that. Oh, you do Moringa too. Yolanda, right? Am I getting your name right? Yeah. Oh, by the way, also frankincense, the king of the essential oils. Really good stuff for a lot of stuff. So anyway, let me do our meditation card, and we'll see what comes out in the 3 card spread about the energies of this week. I feel like energetically, because I get a lot of through channeling also, it feels like it's an energetic exhale. So this would be like a good time to just set back, relax. We had a very powerful activation through Lionsgate. If you did the meditation and the activations with Heather and I, you had it especially strong hit. If not, well, it's on the channel. Do it. We're still in Lionsgate portal. So for the next, I feel like between the next 2 or 3 days or so, as much as you can, take it easy. Do some breathing, some light yoga, maybe do a little fasting or cleansing. But this is a good time to just let your body and your energetic fields realign to these higher energies that's affecting us now. And then it's probably going to get very active later on in the week. I'm just getting this image of like somebody walking out on something. I'm wondering if it's like Trump meeting with somebody and they just walk out on him or something like that. I mean, hopefully that's not the peace talks in Alaska. It could be a metaphor that somebody stepping down, like a congressman. It could be another country also. I mean, because I'm American, a lot of my forecasts are going to be a little bit America-centric, just because I live here. But I do try to include the whole world as well, and stuff like that. But the metaphor of like walking out, it almost feels like it may be a message for us, like instead of like engaging with battles with people that aren't going to get you anyway, it's better to step back, not to engage that. I pretty much given up trying to talk anybody into my way of seeing things on social media, because it just gets twisted around. Because if somebody's programmed so that they can't understand, they're not going to understand. And the way programming works is it hijacks the survival emotions and instincts. In other words, the programming self-protects itself through people. So if you challenge that, they tend to get pretty ugly. It's almost like in their what's it called, the primitive part of the brain. I forgot the name of it. It's almost like that part of the brain. I might as well like have a gun and be threatening to shoot them, because that's how much their survival instinct gets active. And since they can't shoot me, they try to shoot me with words and energy, basically. So point of it is, some people are reachable and teachable. Some people are not. Use discernment. We're all teachers. We wouldn't be here in this community if we weren't really trying to help humanity to find their way and find their path, starting with ourselves, but to have discernment, right? So anyway, oh, thank you. So here's a little bit of a what's the right word, of a testimonial about our channeling work. Hello from San Antonio. Welcome. Remember the Alamo? Just kidding. Let me just clear my mind. So the long anticipated awaited meditation card is coming to a YouTube channel near you. Wow, very, very kind of childlike innocence. And notice about 15 new people came in, so you missed a lot of good stuff in the beginning. So I encourage everybody to go back to the beginning. So here's the Page of Cups, and so the theme of this meditation, because cups is water, emotion, it's intuition. Pages often represent good news, things of that nature. Can represent children, so it's children's energy. So perhaps the theme of this week's meditation would be, how can we reconnect with our child self, our childlike self? Not childish, but childlike, because that's our spirit, right? That's an aspect of our spirit. Through socialization, we get all stiff and rigid. I did an energy healing for somebody last night, a distance healing, and when I went in, they showed just incredible, what's the word? Like lack of elasticity, like a lot of stiffness, especially in the spine and the noddings of the spine were like very constricted. And the person was developing like MS type symptoms and high blood pressure. And it just is saying, if you get the fluidity back in the spine and the body and the energy field, then the arteries are going to start to become more elastic also, and that's going to alleviate the person's high blood pressure, as well as the things happening in the nervous system. So really, we through socialization, through our jobs, our belief systems that are force fed to us down our throats, we get very rigid. We lose our childlike nature, which means we lose the spark of spirit. So this child guide, when you go into meditation, will help you to reconnect with that. So when we meditate, the first order of business is always get present. Just ride the waves of your breath. Inhale, exhale. There's a different energetic flow on the inhale and the exhale. So just be aware of that. Stop your thoughts and just feel grateful, basically. And you're in the present moment. You're not your name or there's no physical identity. You're just spirit, energy, and flow. So once you get there in your mind, this is the Page of Cups of the Hanson Roberts deck. You can take a mental snapshot of this one, or you can use your own cards, whatever works for you. And in your mind, you step through this portal. So you're very aware of what you're feeling when you step into the portal of the tarot card, into this other reality, the separate reality. Carlos Castaneda, A Separate Reality, great book. When you step into that, just gauge how you feel, because it's a different energy you're stepping into. How do you feel? Then what do you see? What do you smell, taste, touch, and hear? Who besides this figure can you see? Because this is just the doorway. You're going to a whole new world, a whole new scene. It's moving, it's changing. It's like a dreamscape in a way. because the astral plane is what's in between the physical and the spiritual. So sort of the gateway to the 5D is through the astral. Yeah, and that's how we meditate. So to do that every day, and I think that'll be very helpful. So let's see what else. Hi, Chloe, Crystal. So we're still talking about health. So let me flash a few more. And you're doing symptoms like that. Definitely need to do somatic tracking, allowing meditation on life with Kyle, the great mindful gardener. Very good, thank you. And we have also what's your channel? Truth Wave Meditation with Victor and another of you are doing meditation to help out also, right? Yeah, Mr. Floyd's Universe. I promise I didn't do it. I was like, I now Chloe's crystals. That must be the universe working my favor. Very good. Yeah. So Chloe's crystals. Chloe sells crystals and knows a lot about crystals. And hello, Lindsay. And I'm just beginning perimenopause. I must meet my needs now. The ones from childhood. So this will help. Very powerful time. Yeah. And Laura's saying there's a great somatic breath course on Beyond Mystic too. Very good. Yeah. Very good. I know I'm missing a lot of your really great comments. I'm just what I'm getting. It's just started with line to get. Yeah. So again, very good. Yam cream is very helpful. Yam. That what is that? The solar plex mantra. Where's Jared? Help me out. Jared's not on this morning. Who the channel? All right. Let's do a 3-card spread. Bodies aligned with the universe. Great comment there also. That's the ticket. When the body's aligned with the universe, the body's healthy. And people might say, well, there's so much pollution. There's all the EMFs that are compromising your fields or whatever. But you know what? The universe is stronger than that. When you're aligned with the universe, the body has amazing capacity to clear away toxins and impurities. So don't be afraid of that. You'll be aware and make provisions because it's a thing, but don't let that psych you out, basically. I've been breathing in tons of smoke this summer. So have you, if you're in the U.S. from mostly from Canadian wildfires, but who knows what else is in that smoke. Another interesting thing is, and it may come up in my next psychic predictions video, is I just flashed on the mystery fog from about 6 months ago. There was apparently had microorganisms in it, allegedly anyways. So we may see something new along those lines. And I'm not saying one is related to the other. However, we've noticed that a lot of people got cancer. There's a spike in that. So some cancers, according to research that I'm aware of, may have a parasitic component to it. So also sugar feeds it, stress feeds it, emotions feed it. So if we say in positive emotions, do heart-brain coherence, which we teach and talk about ad nauseum here on the channel. If you do that raises the frequencies of the emotions through gratitude and compassion, and that affects the hormones in the body. And it allows the hormones to trigger chemicals in the body that help to fight things like cancer. It enhances the immune system, basically. According to Joe Dispenza. Thank you, Beverly. According to Joe Dispenza, that there's empirical data that supports that. Yeah. And Felice saying, hey, you learn to create art from what she's given. Beautiful. Thank you for that. All right, so let's do 3-card spread. Let's see if we can tap more into the energies of the week. It's funny. I just get this image of taking photos. Perhaps look at some of your photos. You may get orbs or things of that nature, or spirit may manifest through pictures. Let's see what else they're showing me. Okay, let me just my cards. I've seen dogs. Dogs represent allies, right? Spiritual allies. Human's best friend, all that stuff. Um, I've been very into wolves lately. Well, I've always have been, but especially lately. So this is interesting, and it's kind of getting me to maybe mention things about tariffs, because apparently a new round of tariffs came into effect, from the United States, and of course there's reciprocal tariffs that come up. Um, Pentacles is money, security, the world. So I think world finance is big in the news, I want to say. But the Three of Wands is an established card. That's a really good card. And like I've been telling you from the get-go, don't fear the tariffs. Don't fear the Reaper either, but don't fear the tariffs. It's a resetting that's happening. It's an economic reset, and that's part of it. And we can take that from many different perspectives. One perspective is our American president taking the world economy? Is there things that are predictable with certain tariffs come up, certain stocks and securities drop, and then there's insider trading? I'm just saying if. I'm not saying this is definitely true. But it does change the landscape of goods and supplies and how that flows. And of course, if you're able to control what supplies, food, technology supplies flows into what countries, you're able to control that country and control that industry and control that business. So there's really a lot of moving parts to it that may be beyond Donald Trump and mundane politics at large. But at the same time, I feel like through the card, they're saying at the end of the day, once it all gets worked out, it may actually help the economy, but maybe not so much in the traditional sense, but more like in the adjusting of getting out of like the fiat dollar mentality, like no backing for money, using money as a tool of control, and going more or approaching more in the direction of a quantum financial system, or a Nasara financial system that really incorporates more of a balance between different countries. It reinstates a gold or precious metal backing, even on cryptos, because that we're going into digital currency. AI is really coming up a lot. There's positives and negatives, but all the stuff that I've been saying for years on the channel before it started to get popular, we're seeing the AI scams, how it's being used to leverage more control. But at the same time, it can be used for amazing scientific discoveries, for cures to diseases that don't exist, for the ability to, in a positive way, to modify the weather, not control the weather for political gain for certain countries or factions, rather to use it to help save people, to modify things. All this is on the table. And when we reach a more enlightened society, when we're in that golden age, in my belief, in my opinion, all this stuff is going to start to be used for positive things. And there are ways to modify the way the weather manifests on the earth without upsetting the balance. Right now, assuming that geoengineering is true, and there's pages and pages on government websites to validate that, but to what degree is a debatable topic. But if indeed that it's being used to leverage control and power, and then people die and suffer because of it, if that's indeed true, it can also be used in a positive way. But nature's always going to balance and counterbalance, and the earth is a living, breathing vessel. It's like a closed system, meaning that if you change the balance through human activity, the earth has to respond. And that's also true on an energetic level. That's why we're going to do a little bit of toning later on. So anyway, I think that these are some of the main themes, but this can represent new beginnings in your own life, financial. You may start to get some new ideas or new directions of things to do with that. But this is a very grounding. It's a good time to ground and to settle, basically. It's been, and we're going to have more spikes in energy. I mean, it's not a done deal, but I think this period is a time to really get your roots very deep into the earth. They're showing me Putin. I feel like he's gonna really like rip it into Trump for something. I don't know what. Anyway, I don't know why that came up. But, well, probably because they're having their meetings, and also the world politics, world government, world conflicts, and all that kind of stuff. So it just feels like, and we mentioned this, due to what I was receiving from Spirit, as well as the numerology and astrology of August, that it favors more diplomacy and negotiation. But there are a lot of aspects that feed the aggression. Not to you fool ourselves, but the general trend would be towards more in the way of diplomacy and solving things, basically. And that's just an energetic influence. It's kind of like a very general low kind of frequency, almost like the Schumann resonance is a very kind of a low frequency hum that fuels everything in the earth and the physical. By the way, it's Schumann Resonance Month on Spirit Mind Family, which is our Patreon group. So we're diving into that because most people don't get it. Most people have misconceptions of what the Schumann frequency is. However, Stefan Burns teaches that. By the way, he does some really good some good teaching on the Schumann resonance and what that really means, basically. But what we're going to do on Spirit Mind Family is teach you how to connect with that, how to vibrate with it, what it really means, and all that stuff, basically. So and it's very earth. There's a very grounding vibration this week. And I think something's going to get ironed out with finance and tariffs and financial agreements. So I think there's a lot of, it may be behind the scenes meetings, but I think a lot's going on with with that, with trying to balance things financially and on the earth. But then again, there's a lot of different energies that are working into that. Yeah, well, we wish you were near us also. Yeah. Thank you for that too. And so far only orbs. Thanks, and like Worthing. That's a good way of putting it. Yeah. And Felicia saying, one of my past lives ability was being able to send orbs or see orbs or send orbs with my under the water. So, oh, I could see that with you. Yeah, I see orbs, especially when I do mediumship. I see them with my eyes also. Very good. Hey, Mary, welcome. Thank you, MSJ, Miss Janet. Thank you so much. Thanks for being here, and thank you for all your beautiful comments. So I have a Native American tarot, and I still have my peace pipe, and I'm not displaying it. By the way, I think I have my Native American tarot. If not, we are skipping. Oh, I do. Reason being is one of our community members just happens to be a Native American elder, and he just kind of politely told me that to his people that it's actually disrespectful to publicly display the pipe of peace. So I'm privately displaying it now because it's still the same energy. It's right next to me, but always working with the energy of peace, and the pipe of peace would be part of a sacred gathering. And it helps to iron out any differences. So anyhow, I just figured I'd mention that because one or two you may notice, hey, there's no peace pipe on your altar. What's up with that? Anyhow. Yeah, so we had our retreat last weekend. We had great weather. We did a lot of outdoor work. It was just fabulous. I grew a lot, and I know everybody. I saw at least two people have really significant breakthroughs during that, and part of it was just learning how to get out of that rigidity of programming. We were dancing and drumming and doing things like that, and doing breath work and working with the flows of nature, and it was really quite good. Next year, I'm planning a 4-day Spirit Fest. So Spirit Fest 2026, I want to do for 4 days and do like a power attunement theme. But anyway, we got a little bit of time to think about that. Anyway, clearing mind. Honey, they're showing me a bear, but it's a honey bear. Bears are about introspection, looking within. we're starting to come into the bear season. Not that I want to rush the season; it's still summer, but the bear season is the autumn, because the bear dwells or stands at the western point of the medicine wheel. And we had the matriarch of blade. We've gotten her before. That'd be what, the matriarch. I guess that would equate to the Queen of Swords. And basically, there's that energy with that. So, Queen of Swords. Queen is water, swords is air. That's what we want. We want to blend emotion with intellect. Because that's our energy, physical, emotionally, mentally, and spiritually, basically. And the interesting thing, what I'm getting from this card is, the figure, she's got this sword, the knife. Basically, she's holding it close to her chest, and I don't know exactly what this one is here, but anyway, she has that might be like a hole, like for gardening or something like that, or maybe symbol of peace. But she has it. She's fierce, but it's not out. It's like drawn close to the heart, and it's almost like, yeah, let's talk peace, but let's be aware we're still warriors. If something goes south, we're capable of defending ourselves and our loved ones through the sense of honor and dignity, and through strategy and planning, basically. And it just kind of feels like, okay, this is a time to step back, strategize. Like, what's right in your life? What's wrong in your life? Wrong from your perspective, or maybe from a higher perspective. Acknowledge what's right, but what strategies can you apply now to smooth out some of the rough edges, or to make that which is wrong right again? That kind of a thing. So in any event, that's kind of sort of what I get. The clouds are behind her. It's just like almost like coming out of battle, now coming to the next phase. Now, how are we going to rebuild things? So we may be energetically coming out of the big battle, as it were. That would be, us being the light workers versus those forces that are trying to suppress the light, basically. So what are we going to do to rebuild our lives, rebuild the world, all that kind of stuff? And this card just is popping out, so I got to get that. That's the world. That's we are the world. So this is probably the same as this card, right? Same as it ever was. So anyway, and the world has a big tree. It's very, very Avatar energy. On a turtle, a terrapin, terrapin station for the deadheads. Oh, I didn't even post yet. Yesterday was Jerry Garcia's 40th anniversary, or 30th, I'm sorry, of Jerry Garcia's passing on August 9th, 1995. But we are the world. And so a lot of energy of the earth. So I think we're going to see a lot of global movement, not just this week, but maybe starting or initiating this week. Some of it could unfortunately be escalation of conflicts, but I think it's more moving towards the energy of peace, people speaking up more, people being maybe a little bit more civil. That's not to say that my forecast of there being more demonstrations, more of that kind of stuff isn't happening, but sometimes demonstrations can bring about peace also. So anyway, let's move on. I've got a couple of other things that I want to do. Yeah, Jerry is so missed. I still miss Jerry, right? And start with a spoon, pot, and cabinet. All right. I miss what you're saying. I don't know. Give to make what's wrong right again. Mine takes another person. I don't know. Get there right now. Yeah. So you'll figure it out, though. Just keep on the path. I've only seen one Misha. It came in, it spiraled around the table, and dissipated into a wall. Wow. That is really, really cool. Yeah. My third channeling video has orbs all over it. I need a different camera. I don't get orbs with the iPhone. I've gotten a few videos where there were little floating orbs when I was channeling, but nothing that I think that we're capable of. But that's really cool. I believe you with the orbs, with your channeling. it's just spirits wave letting you know that spirits are working with you. Anyhow, I don't need to do that. I had the medicine card since we were talking about Native American stuff. I've seen the dog. I was talking about the bear. I was talking about the wolf also, or I was thinking about wolves. I wasn't talking about it. So let's see what card we pick this week as our guiding totem animal for the week. And if you want to get your personal totem animal, go to my shorts page. And the last short that I did, well, I'm going to do another one as soon as I get off. That was a pick a card reading where you pick your totem animal for the next 3 months. You have all kinds of fun things on the Medium channel. Wow. All right. I'll pick the top card. Blue Heron, Reflectivity. We've gotten her. This is the third time, although I've been doing this for almost 4 years. But this is the third time I remember getting this one. Blue herons like sit on the pond and they watch the reflection. Again, the fractal universe is a reflective universe. So whatever your energy is, it's reflected back at you. So this is, again, and there's always these synchronicities with the cards using different decks. The synchronicity here is time to step back for a few days, reflect on things. You've come a long way. It's been, some of us have been through a major battle. I know I have. Some of us have just been through a major growth spurt, big changes in your life. And now it's time to just reset. I want to say the next 3 days, 72 hours or so, whenever you're watching this video, this is the time to reset, basically. And that's the feeling that I think that's the message of Blue Heron right now. And you guys, where are we? Drive you crazy. All right, so I'm missing a lot. Lots of demos in London. Oh, demonstration in London, yeah. On TT, Tarot Time, yeah. This is what TT is. Good light is that your Asian is a big sync lately. If you've been seeing wrens or birds in general, this is your sign. Not sure about the wrens. I've been seeing a lot of egrets here. They're like little eagles. Like there's a nest somewhere around somewhere right around like I'm blessed enough to live like maybe 200 yards from the Esopus Creek and here in the Catskills, like the main creek from the high peaks of the Catskill Mountains. And I've been seeing the egrets. Am I pronouncing that right? Egrets. A lot. I've been seeing a bald eagle for a few weeks. A lot of hawks too, and an owl too. So I've been getting those synchronicities. Oh, you saw an eagle! How beautiful! Yeah, I've been seeing the herons too. And one time in Midtown Manhattan on 34th Street, there's a landfill. This is years ago. And my parents are still alive. They lived at Waterside Plaza in Manhattan. And so I walked by the heliport for the Manhattanites and the New Yorkers. And the right off of First Avenue, they tore down a building, and there was like a little puddle in the middle. And one day I was walking, there's a blue heron in Midtown Manhattan, right on that little puddle, and I was like, "Wow, that was amazing." I have a couple more. We've been an hour. Hello, I've got the Isis Oracle deck with me, so let's do this one. But I think we got most of our messages out. Well, that's nice. Yeah. Well, sometimes they sense you. Like I'll have rabbits that they come within 5 feet of me around my property. And when you have, they read your vibration, and rabbits by nature, if I move it, it'll run away because that's its instinct, its survival instinct. But it's just one of many examples that if you have a peaceful vibration, that then wildlife is more comfortable around you, basically. So that's humility. Oh, goldfinch, they're beautiful. I saw a beautiful red cardinal in the trumpet vines by my house. Goldfinch. Okay, I think we talked about goldfinch and constantly birds around you. Yeah. Oh, and you have coyotes in Central Park. I believe that. Yeah, that's cool. In a way, it's cool. Anyways, yeah. There's hawks. There's peregrine falcons. There's all kinds of wildlife in Manhattan now. Not just cockroaches and rats and pigeons. All right. So this is the Isis Oracle. Here we are. And we got the Lunar Queen. We just had a full moon, powerful full moon. It was Lionsgate portal, reflecting. The full moon reflects the sun back at us as much as possible, and it was in Aquarius. So, she of the celestial crescent, the lunar moon. And it just feels like I feel like one of the messages, at least for some of us, is during this full moon period that you're starting to interact with a new guy. Well, not a new guy, but new to you. Not necessarily feminine or a lunar queen, but I think that it's just showing that you've tapped into a new level, and as a result, that again, this is the time to reset and to step back a little bit, according to everything that we've been pulling today and what I've been getting intuitively. So stepping back and just really start to catch up, because I think that your flows and energies are different now, because of the portal activation. And so I think that's part of that message there. And of course, the full moon also represents bounty. It represents intuition. Represents divine feminine energy and all that stuff. So keep in tap with that. Very good. Oh, sorry that you were ill. Yeah, just before my hubby became ill, and then sorry about your husband. Hopefully he's better now. And I have birds around me all the time. Hung out with a tiny bird today. Not sure what it was. A hummingbird flew yesterday morning, like right next to me too. Yesterday, and hovered there and just went to perch and hung out. That's beautiful. All right. So anyway, I have this would be our sacred geometry cards for the frequency of the week. Oh, sorry, blood clots in the lung. Yeah. So when he gets better, maybe doing, maybe diffusing frankincense might help, or different essential oil, or doing breath work. But of course, obviously, follow his physician's advice. All right, clearing my mind. Here we go. Found my card, or your card, our card. For top one, not bottom one, and it's healing. Well, isn't that synchronistic? And a lot of green energy. So you can get the energy just by gazing into the center of the card and just allowing this healing vibe to come in. And the mess, I have to turn it around for a second. The frequency of healing supports our intrinsic ability to restore our health and wholeness by consciously using the information that comes to us through our senses and harmonizing everything accordingly. Great message. And it's very synchronistic with the messages today on Tarot Time. So very good. Yes, breathwork will be definitely on the list. Good. So I'm glad that you're adding some holistic stuff to whatever's needed to be done allopathically. And Felicia saying, my mother left me a blue jay feather for her birthday. My brother left me a mourning dove feather 4 days later on his. Wow, spirit is really strong around you. But what a beautiful gift that is. So it's getting near that time. Let me just get one last quick message, and I don't have the angel cards today. This will be the Kyle Gray deck, Divine Masters Oracle. So let's get a final message that way. And what do we got? This is a quieter week. I don't know if I've got any live streams till next Sunday, till Tarot Time. I'll put out a few videos, and who knows? Maybe we'll come on live spontaneously. All right, we wanted to do a little toning too before we end. So we're going to do that. So I hope you guys can hang out for that as well. We got Mahavatar Babaji here. Spiritual awakening, interconnectedness, understanding the inner workings. Well, that's an interesting ascended master, right? Mahavatar Babaji. And so, again, that's just kind of sealing the deal. This is a time to reset. So up the meditation and spiritual work, the heart brain work, whatever you do, chanting, toning. And we're going to do a little bit in a minute, especially over the next 3 days, but over this week, because, the energy hits, right? We have Lionsgate portal. It's not a big deal. It happens every year, but it's a big deal this year with the full moon and the 6 planet harmonic alignment that's happening. And it was a strong energy. It ignites our energetic fields. That changes the flows in our body, the energetic flows, which also will change the hormonal flows, the physicality and all that. So it's all, and as I'm talking, they're saying a lot of it is like stripping away the non-essentials, like elements of programming that you're ready to strip away. You may end friendships and relationships as a result also, or changing the relationship with yourself, basically. So it's stripping all of that away, basically, and it's going to allow you to come into a higher vibration, a higher level of spiritual enlightenment now. So go, if you can really even withdraw from the world. I mean, most of us don't have that luxury, but to the best of your ability, you can do it internally. You can be in the world, but still, and still withdrawn from it, not withdrawn in a negative way, like head in the sand withdrawn, but rather aware of it, but choosing to be more in a higher vibration. And I think that's part of the message here. So let's do, yeah, thank you. I get to see all you guys too. It's wonderful. Thank you. So, like I said, we may do a live stream that I haven't scheduled yet this week. I'll certainly put out 1 or 2 videos. I mean, maybe I'll step back a little bit myself, follow my own advice. Oh, thank you. Yeah. If you can like the video, and that would be really amazing. Like here on the Medium channel, my byline is the spirituality behind the message. So I'm a professional medium. And what I share on the channel is basically the spiritual work that I do to support my abilities and my practice. And it's a 24/7 practice, basically. So, we do, other than tarot time, we do, very spiritual videos. We do predictive stuff, choice centered, like psychic forecasts and stuff like that, as well as teaching you things about law of attraction, heart-brain coherence, connecting with the extraterrestrials, connecting with your guides, developing your psychic abilities and your mediumship or your abilities to heal yourself. So if this resonates with you, subscribe to the channel. That way our videos will come on your home feed more frequently. So that's the advantage of being a channel subscriber. So on that note, 12:12, time to do a little activation. So I'll do a little bit of toning. But for a moment, let's just take a couple of deep breaths and connect our energies for a second. And feel as you take a couple of deep breaths, get very nice and present. Feel your root chakra, feel your connection to the earth. That terrapin, that turtle from the other card, ground you in the earth. Feel the doves in your heart. Maybe feel the eagles at your crown. Feel very grounded. So as I start to lead this, they I call them the master teachers, start to work with my fields, and we join, and then we get they vibrationally increase our energetic flows. That's how it works. We do it together. They're the catalyst, basically, or the initiators of the process. So just feel relaxed, feel very grounded, open heart, present. You wear your inhale, exhale, Beware of my voice, any other sounds, smells, tastes, but focusing on nothing, just being present now. Be here now. Greetings, dears. We are the master teachers. And yes, this is the time to separate, to go within, to go into the frequency of the heart, because things may become and are becoming very tumultuous in your outer world. That does not mean that you have to be engaged in that vibration and energy. So together, let's create a vortex. We can feed on the lined gate energy of heart-centered reality that we are all part of, and that we can support each other vibrationally as the earth is changing so rapidly, as many are falling, many are rising, many of the systems of your world that are old and archaic are falling, new ones are being put into place, many are reluctant to go, others are going, kicking and screaming, and others are supporting the light, like you and us. We are together supporting the light. We understand that vibrationally we are all in Stonehenge now, or a similar structure. We have transported our vibration to Stonehenge. We're a huge portal, a natural, shall we say, energetic hole, is that the right word, in the ground you can pour your love into, and the whole earth can absorb that. So imagine from your heart there's this beautiful golden nectar you're able to pick up with a heart-shaped chalice, and feeling the energetic whole. There's a better word, but we're not accessing that now. We have to access the channel's vocabulary. It's not always easy as interdimensional beings. But that said, a cavity, that's closer, that's closer. An opening, a beautiful opening in the earth, and pour that heart light into the earth. And let's vibrationally connect and settle our energies to reset, recalibrate in these higher frequencies together, and assist the earth and all her beings in doing the same. So just relax, open, breathe. Hold that visualization and start to feel your heart directly pouring the essence of golden light into the opening within the earth. And as you pour the light in, Great Spirit, Source, God, pours golden light from above and all around you through your crown, as well as through your lower chakras, through your earth chakras, feeding the heart and pouring the energy into the opening within the earth to send this energy and flow. Raising the frequencies. Yadityo Yotasena Yamoa Anahyo Yododo Nahyo No. Just let the toning recalibrate you, relax, breathe, allow. Feel your energy and body becoming more fluid and elastic within this energies, increasing the flow of vibrations. Yalo Seda Maya Yadane yona la yada yo yo. And we now seal this opening with our intentions of love, healing, resetting, gratitude, sealing the energy within the earth as well as within our systems, our auric fields. For we are of the earth and the earth is of us. So as we affect our fields, we affect the earth. As the earth changes, so do we. And feel the energy just starting to ground, sending all additional energy through your body, down through your root. If you want to place your hands on the floor, even better. And just send a lot of love, a lot of healing, and a lot of light into the planet, the earth fields, as well as the collective fields. And we are complete. We are Adam and the Master Teachers. Very good. Only about 5 people left, so that's great. Thanks for, of course, there may be new people and maybe more than 5 left. But point being that the majority of you stayed, and I'm very grateful, and I know Spirit's very grateful for you also. So anyway, we're going to end on that note. Thank you, dear souls, for being here, and balancing 3D and 5D. Absolutely, yeah. Absolutely. And you're all welcome, and thanks for being here. Many blessings of love, light, and growth expansion.